Hey, what up, everybody? Um, Gosh, I don't know where to start. I guess it's been a while since I have like really talked to the camera like this. I was doing Instagram stories for a while on Instagram and just kind of, free flow, talking about, things about like uh, uplifting things, morning talk. First getting up in the morning, going out on a walk and just, letting the thoughts flow about what I thought, mattered. And I kind of stopped doing that because I don't know. I just didn't really. I don't want to share everything that just goes on in my mind. But this is different. This is a new chapter for me, um, as far as making personal content to speak to the world, whoever might be listening. And I'm on I've embarked on a certain journey that I want to document and do video journals about, and even I need to get into to actually a real journal and writing. But this should be commemorated. It's very important. It's important. It's an important message to share to the world, and it's important to me personally. So this year, 2026, is the 10th year anniversary. Maybe not down to the day. It's not the date anniversary, but this is the 10th year anniversary of the passing of my father, Willie B. Wazir Peacock. He died April 16th, 2026, um, from prostate cancer that had spread, and eventually he succumbed to, and he had put up a long battle with it. He was diagnosed with an enlarged prostate in 1995, and he lived all the way till 2016. So just let you know the resilience that he had, and that he actually did employ different holistic and self-help uh, strategies or methods, so to speak, to give him such longevity. And I think he wanted, of course, he wanted to beat the cancer, but it ultimately did take his life, like it does so many people in our society. And it's tragic to see. It was very sad. My father was in his late 70s, so he lived a full life, but who knows how long he would have lived if he never had caught cancer. So um, this year, I want to do something to commemorate him and to dedicate to him. And so, what I'll share with you, with whoever is watching, is that a couple of years after my dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer, enlarged prostate, which is a precursor to prostate cancer, he went on a water fast. And this was back in the 90s. This was before the fasting fad had become such obviously a fad. It was before social media and all of that could create these kind of fads the way they are nowadays anyway. But there's long um, there's long been philosophies and holistic self health care books written about fasting from many different perspectives, from the religious perspective, the spiritual perspective, the health perspective, the mental clarity perspective, um, by a number of holistic health experts and gurus. Um, One of them is which I found the book in my mom's collection. Uh, his name was something Sheldon. I'll look it up. I think it's called The Fine Art and Practice of Fasting. So anyway, I was living with my dad at the time, and I witnessed him go on a 6 week fast. He went from being overweight to being thin within that 6 weeks. And he had a couple of healing crises. He broke out into a rash of eczema on his face and on the creases of his arms and on his legs. But before his fast was over, he had healed from all of that. It was no longer an issue. He no longer had any of those healing crises, no rash. And he, before by the time it was over, he was, I remember him going through the different phases of his fast. It was the beginning. He didn't even say anything to me about it. I just started to notice. I'm like, "Are you? What's going on? You not eating?" And he was like, "I'm fasting." And he was just very low energy for a while. But by the time he got to the end of it, he had more energy than he had ever had before. He wasn't even thinking about food. He was already healed from the things that were obstacles during the fast. And he looked great. His eyes were shining bright, and he had gotten thin. I think people probably wouldn't even recognize him, who knew him at that time and who maybe had seen him right before. But he was pretty unmistakable. He had a very distinct beard, and everybody knew who he was. But he did make a huge transformation, and it was all in the fight to survive cancer. Like I said, ultimately he succumbed. He wasn't able to keep up a lifelong health practice. But I when I see what happened with him and his health journey, he had saved his life. I'm I can't prove it, but I'm 100% certain that he had already saved his life if he would have been able to keep on the course and abstain from all the things that uh, help cancer to grow, and do all the practices that eliminate and make a environment in your body that cancer can't survive in, and that those you know mutated cells end up being swept away in. I guarantee you that he would be alive. Or even if I can't guarantee he would be alive, but I guarantee you he wouldn't have died of cancer or any health ailment at all. And I've lost a few people along the way, and even before he passed away. And I've lost one of my best friends recently to heart disease, which I would have never known he had. He was the same age as me. But you just never know. Life and death is it's a mystery, and it can happen however it happens. But I know that I'm committed to living a great life. I have so much more life to live, and I have so much more potential and desires that I want to see manifested. And today, I commit myself to beginning the journey of doing the same thing that I saw my dad do, which is a 6 week water fast. Today is July 20th. And so in 6 weeks, it just so happens that in 6 weeks is August 31st. And that is the day that we have High Road Day Hollywood. So, I'll break my fast on the day that we have our big event that we do, pretty much yearly. But this time it'll be the first time that we've ever done it out of town, and this will be the first of the series of High Road Days that we're doing. So this will be literally the first High Road Day that's not in the Bay Area, and it will be the day that I break my fast. I'll probably break my fast with something very light, like sauerkraut and maybe a soup or something like that. And my vibe and my mental clarity and my focus on performing will be something that I'll have thought about during the fast. So it should be interesting. It should be a very interesting day. There'll be a lot of people there to witness it, and I'm gonna keep doing these video journal entries so I can share this journey with you guys, with the world, with people um, along the way. And I don't have a lot of people that are necessarily engaged with my YouTube page, but this is not about getting a popularity or a lot of people on my line. This is just about sharing it with whoever is interested as I make my transformation, as my energy ebbs and flows and goes, the peaks and valleys happen. I want people to see what it's like, and I want people to see that it's possible. And I want people to see that, you know, it enhances that I want to see how it enhances my artistry as I show up, because this is what my page is all about. This is what I'm all about. It's all about my music and my artistry and me being a vibrant creative. You know, I won't go into details. Obviously, I'm an MC. Hip hop is my thing, but it's just about being a vibrant creative. Is some of the things that we have to do as creators to remain vibrant. So come along with me. It's your boy Pep Love. Um, Day by day on this 6 week journey from July 20th to April 31st. And hopefully, I'll see some of y'all in live in the flesh that actually have come along with me on my journey with this at Hyro Day. All right. So until then, or until tomorrow, I'll be doing it daily, and I'll probably do a weekly drop on my Instagram story because I try to stay away from Instagram. As soon as you open it up, it pulls you in and it influences your mind. And YouTube doesn't seem to do that as much. So we're gonna keep this on YouTube as much as possible, and maybe just do weekly check-ins on Instagram. Where I'll let my Instagram followers know that they can come get more of a full day by day, blow by blow journal entry here on YouTube. All right, so until then, until tomorrow, or as the days go on, you guys will see me again. All right, peace.